Hi everyone, and thanks for being with me. Yesterday, in fact, I watched. I was going to say suffered through, but that's probably not fair. The town hall, if you like, with Oprah Winfrey and Kamala Harris, and I wanted to pass some comment on it because I was wondering whether it is enough, and so I'll talk about that in just a moment. So, do we think that, or do I think that Winfrey and Kamala Harris was the right sort of venue, and whether or not it worked out for Harris in the way that she had wanted? Did we discover anything new about Kamala Harris apart from the fact that she does have a gun? If someone entered her house, she would shoot them. Apart from that, we probably didn't learn anything different. It was a typical Winfrey event, which was full of emotions and people's sad stories, which was great to hear. Certainly not criticising that. And it was when I finished the event, I started to think a little bit more about whether this was about Winfrey or whether this was about Harris. And it was magnificent the way it was produced, with thousands of people, it seemed, on these Zoom screens around the room, a few hundred people in the audience, some fabulous stories that were told, emotional stories that were told, and Kamala Harris had a chance to respond to them. But to me, she didn't say anything new. And I couldn't help but think that the bar is so low in this election that Kamala Harris doesn't have to be anything exceptional. And to some extent, maybe bottom line for me is that she isn't all that exceptional. She just says what she needs to say. She has certain talking points. She sticks to those talking points. No one's going to shift her from them at all. And there was some coverage of this in The Guardian, which I thought was a pretty weak coverage, actually, because it could have offered something a little bit more controversial. But so it starts off by saying Kamala Harris sat down with Oprah Winfrey on Thursday for a virtual rally that included a wide-ranging sit-down interview. Well, I disagree with that, because I frankly didn't think it was very wide-ranging. It just hit all those spots that, economy, guns, cost of living, that was about it. Didn't hit any other areas, and pledged to sign a border security bill thwarted by Senate Republicans, but largely kept her guard with the legendary television interviewer. Now, I think we could interpret kept her guard as is she held back a little bit, I reckon, around some of the things that she could have said. She certainly attacked Trump where possible. But my impression is now that in the United States, the Trump has lowered the bar to the point whereby it's resting on the ground, and you don't have to do all that much to clear it. And to Kamala Harris's credit, that she's going back to, we want this to be about decency and honesty, and we want to get rid of the hatred and all that sort of stuff. So you can talk to that stuff as well, but there needs to, I think there needs to, what is missing for me is a little bit of grit, a little bit of greater determination, even to some extent a greater sense of conviction from Kamala Harris about what she believes in. So I hear her saying what she believes in, but I don't know whether I hear that necessarily in her voice. I think there are elements of that in the rallies that she holds, that's for sure. But when something like this, which is an interview, if you want to call it that millions of people will eventually watch, and which is easily available on YouTube, I think that it is important that she expresses herself in, and I hate to use this word because this is counterintuitive, but in a more aggressive manner towards Donald Trump. Now, I don't know whether she necessarily needs to be louder or more emphatic or angrier. But it's not enough anymore just to cite those issues that most of the community are aware of anyway, but to spend more time, I think, actually attacking what it would mean to have a Trump presidency. Now, I know that at the moment they're talking about lowering the rhetoric because it's, because of these 2 assassination attempts on Trump, and what that means in terms of inciting people to become violent. But that should not steer clear of some of the issues that sit in America. And it was really disappointing for me to see her talk about gun control. I'm a gun owner, and that if someone entered my house, I would shoot them. The problem, of course, is that if they had a politician who came out and said that we need to get rid of guns, no need for them, people don't need to have them under their pillow in case they if someone breaks into their home. So let's just get rid of the bloody things. And it's a shame, I think, that this issue never, ever really gets addressed because politicians don't have the guts to address it because they just lose so many votes if they did, as immoral as the issue around gun control actually is in the United States. However, she's had a bump. She's had increases in certain states. She's up in most states, with the exception of one, and that she's projecting in the right direction. I just think that this effort with Oprah could have had more enthusiasm placed in it. It's like when you see Oprah Winfrey event, she creates the enthusiasm. She had, some fabulous guests on talking about how important it was for Harris to win the presidency. But and that was great, and they were terrific. But it was about them. It was about the type of event that she created. It was about Oprah Winfrey doing her thing. And I think as a result of that, we lost, or Kamala Harris didn't have the opportunity to present herself as she could have. So let me know what you think. If anybody's watched it, please let me know what you think in the comment section below. And remember to subscribe to my channel. That would be absolutely fabulous. In the meantime, take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.